Save, Lord, let the King hear us when we call. Psalm 29. This last verse returns to petition after the confident declaration of verses 6 through 8. The psalm concludes where it began, with prayer. Genuine faith never abandons prayer, even when confidence runs high. The word save carries urgent intensity. The term means to help, deliver, or bring to safety. The psalmist cries out for immediate divine intervention. Notice the order of the verse. Save, Lord, places God first. The people recognize that salvation comes from the Almighty alone. Human leaders serve as instruments, but God provides the actual deliverance. This prayer acknowledges divine sovereignty. Let the King hear us when we call requests that God will enable the earthly ruler to respond to his people's needs. The verb hear suggests appropriate action. When citizens cry out for help, they need leaders who will answer with wisdom. This verse reveals the proper relationship between rulers and subjects. Kings exist to serve their people, not to exploit them. 1 Kings 12 records how Solomon's son Rehoboam rejected wise counsel and chose harsh policies. The kingdom split because the king failed to answer his people's legitimate concerns. The phrase, "when we call," reveals ongoing communication between people and their leadership. Citizens should have access to their rulers. Leaders must remain approachable and responsive. Tyrannical governments cut off communication channels and ignore public concerns. From a prophetic perspective, this verse points beyond David to the ultimate King, our Lord Jesus Christ. Revelation 19:16 declares Christ as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Christians should pray for Jesus to return and establish his righteous kingdom on earth. Believers today should seek the Lord's kingdom as Jesus taught in Matthew 6:10. This petition asks for Christ's rule to manifest both in individual lives and in world affairs. Christians long for the day when perfect justice and righteousness will govern the earth. The verse also applies to contemporary political situations. Believers should pray for their leaders according to 1 Timothy 2:1-2. I exhort, therefore, that first of all, supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings, and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty. Christians should pray that elected officials respond to legitimate needs of their constituents. This includes praying for wisdom in policy decisions, integrity in personal conduct, and compassion for the vulnerable. Romans 13:4 describes government as the minister of God to thee for good. Believers should speak truth to power while maintaining respectful attitudes. Daniel exemplified this balance when he served pagan kings yet remained faithful to God's standards. This psalm teaches that prayer and politics intersect in God's plan. Christians should engage in civic duties while recognizing that ultimate hope rests in divine intervention. Human governments fail, but God's kingdom endures forever. Believers work for justice and righteousness while awaiting Christ's return. The psalm's structure moves from petition through confidence and then back to prayer. This pattern reflects a mature faith that combines trust in God's promises with continued dependence on His grace.